pet lovers, this is Liana with Wet Noses Pet Sitting, and today I am going to answer the biggest questions that we get about overnight stays, which are a very, very common service for us to provide. So they are limited because there are only so many sitters that can do them overnight, but we do get requests for them and we do book up fully, especially over the holidays. So if this is something you're interested in, definitely think about it and look at setting it up sooner rather than later. So I also do want to say that these are services that are specific to us. A lot of pet sitting companies do offer overnight stays and they might look something like this, but definitely check with another company about details if you're not looking at going with us, if you're just getting more information. So get all these details figured out because every company is a little bit different. So the first question we usually get is, how long are our overnight stays? So we offer two different types of overnights. We offer standard overnight, which is 9 to 10 hours long. So usually that goes from 9 or 10 p.m. to 6 to 7 a.m. So that's just for the dogs or cats that want somebody there overnight, but don't necessarily need a lot of extra time. We also offer an extended overnight, which are actually far more common. We do a lot of these, and these are 12 hours long, so they're from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. generally. We can sometimes shift them a little bit, but that's pretty normal. And this gives your pets a little bit more of that social time in the evening. You know, you might usually get home from work at 6 or 7 p.m. yourself. They get some feedings, that kind of thing, and then somebody is there overnight. In most cases, we also suggest or require a visit during the day, at least one. Some people schedule 2 or 3 visits during the day in addition to their overnight stay. You can actually look at our blog or check the link below, and it will have information with suggested schedules for overnights that includes a layout of what these all can look like. So generally, as an example, if somebody had a dog that could be left alone for 6 or 7 hours, we would maybe do the extended overnight from 7 to 7, and then maybe have a visit sometime in that 12 to 1 p.m. period as a let out during the middle of the day so that your dog is not home alone for too long. The next question we get is, what animals need overnight stays? Now, some animals get overnight stays just for the social time. There is not a particular reason. Sometimes it's just because it makes you feel better as the person to know that there's someone there with your pets. There's nothing wrong with that. I often schedule overnights for my cats, even if I'm gonna have my dog with me when I'm traveling, because I like them to have the company. They might ignore the person some of the time, and that's okay. So it makes me feel better. The other reasons that we really do see overnight stays that are necessary are animals who are not used to being left alone for long periods of time, especially dogs. So if they're not used to being home alone overnight, if they get anxious if a person's gone for too long. We also recommend them for animals who need medication or to be let out early or late at night. So if you have a puppy, for instance, that needs to be let out at 10 p.m. and then first thing in the morning at 6 a.m., we would recommend an overnight stay for that, because we cannot guarantee that we will be there at 6 a.m. to let your puppy out. Same thing if they're getting medication. If they're needing medication at 6 o'clock in the morning, you're going to need an overnight stay for that. The next question is what happens during an overnight stay? And truth be told, it depends on whether we're doing a standard or an extended overnight. But yet generally your pet gets fed, they can get, litter box cleaned, all of these normal activities within reason. And if you're doing a regular overnight, keep in mind that sitter's only there for 9 to 10 hours. So there's only going to be an hour to 2 hours of a week time. And so think about what they can get done in an hour to 2 hours. During an extended overnight, they might have some additional time to go for a walk, have some social time, and then a lot of times it's just hang out and relax with the animals time. So there's a lot of cuddling on the couch, playing games, that type of thing. It really just depends on what your pets do normally and what you like to have happen when you're gone. So, or what you do in the evening. So really think about what you normally do at night. If what you normally do is sit on the couch and cuddle with your dog for an hour at night, then that's what your sitter should do too, because that's what's going to make your dog the most comfortable, and that's why we're there. So the next question we get is actually our most common question, which is, where does your sitter sleep? Now this is really up to you about where they sleep. They can sleep basically wherever you are comfortable with, but what we recommend is that your sitter sleep in the same area that your pets are accustomed to. So if your pets normally sleep with you in the master bedroom, then consider having your sitter sleep in there as well, because that's going to be comforting to your pet to have their normal space. The sitter can also sleep in a guest room. On occasion, they can sleep on the couch. Sometimes that's the best situation for the pets, although we ask that it be comfortable because this is your sitter's sleep time. Now, for some animals, it doesn't matter. Some animals do not care where your sitter sleeps, in which case just make a choice about where you are most comfortable for them sleeping. The one thing In addition, a lot of times the sitters will bring their own bedding and whatnot. We do ask that it be relatively clean for them and that you do use clean bedding if your sitter is going to be there for an extended period so that they can kind of be a little bit more comfortable. But you can discuss these details with your sitter to see what works for both you and for them. We like everybody to be in agreement about what the best possible situation is. Now, if you're still having trouble deciding if an overnight stay is for you, that makes sense. I recommend that you look at some of our blogs. We have suggested schedules for different types of pets, be it dogs, cats, shy dogs, kittens, puppies, chickens, all sorts of things. So you can look at some of those schedule suggestions and see what resonates with you. There's also some suggestions on how to decide what schedule is the best for you. So take a look at those, see what you find and what you can do. And definitely reach out to us, especially if you're looking to work with us, if you have any questions about anything or we can make any suggestions for you. A lot of times we just talk through the schedule of your pet's day and then make a recommendation based on that. Thanks everybody for watching and listening. Definitely follow us and subscribe if you want to see more videos. We are putting stuff out regularly. So have a wonderful day and say hello to your pets from us.